Hello everyone! Every day is a good day for a new beginning. Imagine being separated from your entire family at 3 years old, living a life of poverty, being forced into marrying at a young age, and losing your 4-month-old infant daughter. This is the heart-wrenching story we're going to hear today from Nuri Agner, founder and president of Indonesian Three Magnolias nonprofit organization. She found the motivation to move forward in her own life and to help others in the darkest moments of her life. This is her inspirational story. Our guest today is Nuri Agner, and Nuri is the president and founder of the Indonesia Three Magnolias nonprofit, which is an organization which mission is to help children and women to acquire an education for a better quality of life. Hi, Nuri. Thank you so much for being here today. It's a pleasure having you here.
Thank you, Betsy, for having me here.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
So you are the president and founder of the Indonesian Three Magnolia organization.
Yes.
And you're also a chef.
Yes, I am.
Right? And I understand that it's called One. Am I pronouncing that right?
Correct.
One catering business, and you are the chef and the owner, and all the benefits of all the profits that you do in this business go to benefit your organization through Magnolias. Is that correct?
Correct.
Where do you do the catering business?
We basically not much in catering, but if somebody likes to order, and then we will make for them. But normally we join the farmers market, then introduce the Indonesian cuisine to others around here, the local.
Okay. So Nuri, we want to get to know you better. We know that you have a wonderful story, and you have a story of inspiration, a story that began with some hard times during your childhood, and you have been able to turn all the struggles that you experienced early in life and turn them into something positive to help other people. So that's why we want to have you on the show, and we want people to hear your story of inspiration. Tell me a little bit about yourself. You told me you were born in Padang, Indonesia, and you also lost your mother at an early age when you were 3 years old. Can you please talk a little bit about that and tell us what it was like and what you remember growing up without your mom?
Every time I'm talking about my mom, I'm always sad. I lost my mom when I was 3, and then my mom passed away when she was 28 years old. And she's also bring unborn child with her. And then she had 7 girls, include me, and then 1 unborn child we don't know yet. So on the 3 years, and my mom has a sister, and then she live in city, in Jakarta city. In our Padang culture, when your mom pass away, and then the responsibility of her children is go to her family as the brother or sister.
So you told me, earlier when we were talking, I asked about your father, and you were explaining that it's a cultural thing that the responsibility will immediately go to your aunt.
Yes.
So you went to live with your aunt and all your siblings as well?
Not all. My aunt, she has 5 children and her own, and then my aunt took my older sister, and then me and my younger sister. Why like that? So my aunt can give the responsibility to my older sister to take care of me and my younger sister. So the 2 sisters stay in my hometown in Padang, and then I believe a month or 2 months after that, my mom passed away. My dad remarried, and then he had 3 more children from previous.
Were you able to, so you were separated from your siblings as well, your entire family. You lost your mom, your dad started a new life and a new family, and you were also separated from your siblings. Were you able to see your siblings?
18, when I was 18, I mean maybe 17, I come back to see them, and then we almost don't know each other. My sibling just look at me, no, you're not my sister. And then she grabbed the old woman over there that who ever visit Jakarta. And then my sister asking her, Aunt, is that really my sister?
So
and
you guys you did not really develop a relationship with your siblings.
The other sibling.
Do you have any of your siblings and you get along now?
Yes, we all.
You did. So you had an opportunity to get to know each other.
Yeah. After 17, I mean when I was 17, so I brought all my family, my 2 other siblings visit my hometown, and then 2 other siblings visit Jakarta.
Okay.
So I'm really bonding them together.
So you also told me that you had moved to Lampung
Yes.
to go to a Muslim boarding school.
Yeah.
How old were you, and can you talk about those years?
When we live in Jakarta, Jakarta is very rough city. I mean big city, and then my aunt kind of like hard time to take care of me because I'm almost like a rebel for them. So okay, Nuri, this time you go to the religious boarding school. I send you to visit your uncle in Lampung, and you stay with him. And then he put me in the religious boarding school.
And
Lampung.
it was a Muslim boarding school.
Yeah.
And you also told me that you were worried about an arranged marriage. Someone had arranged a marriage for you?
All my siblings had arranged marriage, and especially my first sister, my aunt arranged marriage for her 2 other men who had been married twice. So my sister had to take care of his children, and then take care of me and my younger sibling. It's really hard. I don't like that.
Okay, and you were around 15 years old at this time.
Yeah.
When all of this was happening. How did you get out of the arranged marriage?
I'm looking for the guy that I like, so I ran away from home.
You ran away from home in order to escape the arranged marriage.
Yeah.
And you managed, or you were looking for a man to marry just so that you will get out of that arranged marriage.
Yeah.
And how did you meet someone to marry?
I believe that's I met the person on the trip to go to Jakarta, and then I said I don't want to be arranged marriage. Normally after 17 they arrange marriage us, so I marry him, but I'm too young to marry too, so I'm not really happy. But
so by now you were about 16 years old, and you get into this relationship to escape the arranged marriage, and you have children. Even though you were very young, you had 2 children, you told me. You had a boy and you had a girl. And something very tragic happened. What happened with that marriage? And what happened the day you got divorced?
So I had my first son when I was 18, and then not long after that I had my second child, like when I was 19, maybe 19 and a half, kind of like that. So a marriage like that is not my dream. So I said, we better divorce after the baby born. And then during the daytime, I got my marriage paper signed, and at nighttime
The divorce.
Divorce,
So
yeah, I
during
mean divorce, sorry,
So
not married.
during
Divorce.
during the day, you had talked to your husband, and you had asked him for a divorce.
Yeah.
Was he okay with that in the Muslim culture? Is it okay
Yeah.
to do that? And
Yeah.
he agreed.
Yeah, he agreed.
So you go to court, you get a divorce that morning, and what happened in the afternoon?
And then in the evening when I work, and then hospital call that my daughter had heart failure because she stayed with nanny during I'm working to support my kids. So I went to hospital, and then my daughter passed away.
Your
That night.
daughter passed
Yeah.
away. So you had been in court signing papers for divorce. You come home, you get a phone call from your nanny saying that something's wrong with your daughter. You go to the hospital and you're told your daughter passed away, and she was 4 months old.
She was.
Did they tell you what happened?
Doctor said she had heart failure, even though they can help her, but her life will be not long. And then it's take money also. I don't have money that time.
So she was still alive when you arrived at the hospital,
Yeah.
and there was nothing else they could do? The treatment was expensive, or was there nothing else they could do?
Nothing else. We live in Lampung. It's not like living right now in Jakarta, or people like doctor can come help quick. But over there, money come first, then help.
So you lost your daughter basically due to the lack of money and the finances.
Yeah.
What was that like for you? I cannot even imagine what it was like.
I'm sad. Maybe because I'm also young. I'm like 19 and a half, almost 20 that time. So I think, yeah, I'm almost 20. So it's
What happened after you buried your daughter? You were divorced,
yes.
and you had a son to raise, and you wanted a better life at this time. What was your decision? Did you move again?
I moved back to Jakarta because my two siblings in Jakarta. So I moved to Jakarta and searched for work, and then I leave my son with my older sibling, which is she almost like a mother for me, who raised me since a baby. And then I work in restaurants. So I work in restaurant, many restaurants, from waitress, bartenders, and then the last position I worked for supervisor at Top Gun.
Top
Restaurant.
Gun.
Yeah, Top Gun, like Tom Cruise.
Like the movie.
Like the movie.
A popular destination for Americans
Yes.
and for tourists at that time.
Yes.
And so you're working in Jakarta, you had left your son with your siblings, and you're having a new life, sort of speak, and now you're a little more independent. And what happens when you're working there?
I'm happy. I'm basically a happy person. Not basically, I'm really happy. I never regret my life. So I'm work, and when I was 28, I met my loved one. I met Mark at Top Gun.
Okay, so you're working at Top Gun, the restaurant. This is in Jakarta, and there you meet the love of your life, your current husband, Mark.
Yes.
Did you speak English at the time?
Yeah, we had to speak English that time.
How did you learn to speak English?
In school, when I study in the boarding school, we only can speak English and Arabic, no Indonesian. So I speak English then. In there, yeah. So yeah, we lots of people in Jakarta speak
So
English.
tell me about it. How was it like for you? You're 28 years old and you're meeting true love for the first time in your life. So what was it like? And what What drove you to him?
He's one of my customer. He came over there daily. And then one day my friend said, Nuri, I want to go to Bali. I want to bring you with me to Bali. Let's go. I said, I don't have boyfriend. Just pick which one you want. So I talked to Mark. Hey, Mark, would you like to come with me to Bali on my 28th birthday? Okay. Really? Yeah. So then he celebrated my 28th birthday in Bali. And then we come back to Jakarta. And then Mark said, Nuri, can you be my girlfriend? I said, no, we're just friends. Please at least try 1 month. So he's a very, patient. And then he asked me to date, asking me, you're my son.
Was this a very different relationship than the ones you had with your ex-husband?
Oh yeah, totally.
How different was it?
No, cannot compare because it's nothing to compare. So it's just and then 6 months we dating, and then he proposed me.
Oh wow!
So I said, okay, but I am Muslim, and then will you want to convert to be Muslim? Yes.
Wow! So that was the condition. He had to convert to your religion.
Yeah.
And he did.
Yeah.
Awesome for you.
Yeah.
How happy were you?
Happy. So happy.
Had you talked about, did he live in Indonesia at the time, or was he just visiting? You mentioned that you were dating for 6 months. So did he live over there?
He's the first man who worked for Nike in Indonesia. So he came to Indonesia with his boss, and then he stayed in Indonesia to open the production for Nike. So then, because I met him. So, and then we married, and then we went to Hawaii for honeymoon.
Was this the first time that you had been out of the country?
Not. I've been to UK before I met Mark. I've been to UK, I've been to Australia.
How were you able to travel before? You by yourself?
Yeah. Yeah.
With the work that you were doing?
Yeah.
You love to travel?
Yeah. So, yeah, one of my friends give like a ticket to UK to visit the family over there. Her family, I mean, not my family. So we go over there. So I went to Australia and then Papua New Guinea. So
nice. So you got married, and then you decided that you were not you wanted a better life, and you decided with your husband that coming to America was the best thing for you and for your family. When did you come to America?
So Mark lived in Indonesia for 17 years. So we married 13 years, and then Mark said, well, Nuri, we move to America. My mom and my parents getting old, and then our kids don't see them often. So after
So you lived in Indonesia with your new husband for 13 years.
Yeah.
Did you have any kids together?
Yeah, we have two kids.
Tell me about your kids.
Okay, I have a kid, and then Mark said, well, we just need one kid. I said, no, I want more kids. So then we have Chandana, and then after that we have James, but they like 5 years apart.
And you came to the United States?
So we came over
when you finally moved to the United States?
We finally moved on 2004.
You told me that you had found this new love. You had been able to travel. It was quite a turnaround for someone who had struggles with poverty in your earlier years, and you grew up without your parents or your siblings and had to face so many struggles, but somehow your life turned around and you came to America, and you told me you had a better life and you were happy, but you could not forget about the people back home, and you wanted to help because you didn't want the same tragedy that struck you when your daughter passed to, be the case for so many other women back home. So you decided to start this nonprofit in 2015, and you named it Indonesian Three Magnolias. What's the meaning of that?
Indonesian Three Magnolias. I love with the magnolias trees. I think magnolias is very beautiful. So I have 3 other friends, Indonesian friends, to build that.
Oh, so you and your other friends are the Three Magnolias. Beautiful people.
So I said, let's we make this to help our people over there who needs.
And you became an official organization in 2015?
Yes.
And tell me the mission and purpose of your organization.
Because mission is we like to help women and children over there. The women, I don't want they married young like I had been done. I don't want they struggling with helping their children. So when they're too young, they don't know how to take care of kids. So like
what kind of help and how do you educate these women that you're helping back home and their children? So is it through schooling, like a formal education?
Yes, we have like early age education for the children, and then for the women we teach them to art, like a craft, like sewing, knitting, and cooking. So we also teach them how to do the hygienist. So they know now they live better. I mean, look better. They can dress well. They clean. They brought their kids. The kids all clean.
So you basically teach them how to become independent with their finances, and also to learn new things in life that can help them, like the hygiene and other stuff for them and their children. And how many, do you know roughly how many women or children your organization helps?
This is the 3rd years over there that we opened the school. We already had 145 children for the early age, 4 years till 6 years. And the mother, maybe about 40 women.
Okay.
So some of them, lots of them don't know how to read and write. Lots of them. Not just some, lots.
Lots of them. Is that something that you also teach them, how to read and write?
Yes, but this woman doesn't really enjoy to face-to-face to study. So we bring them inside the classroom. So when the children write, and then that mother will pick, okay, like that. So we ask the mother help the children do the homework at home together.
Okay.
So that's our trick to make them know.
So you're teaching both of them at the same time.
Yes. Yeah.
But something tragic happened again on December 22nd, I believe, of 2018. A tsunami hit the island and it damaged part of your school.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
When I heard that the news, is one of the person who look after the building, the school building, called that, ma'am, we cannot help the school, the tsunami.
So you travel a lot, and so you're traveling, and you're in Baltimore at this time, and you hear the news that the tsunami hit the school and that it got damaged. So I understand that you travel often to Indonesia now, and you're going again, and you're trying to fix the damage done by the tsunami. Can you tell us where people can look up your information?
We have like our website. It's Indonesian3magnolias.org, or we can go to Facebook, Indonesian 3 Magnolias, or Tiga Cempaka. And then Right now, we're really looking for like a parents, supporting parents to help the students, so we can provide more.
So you're looking for sponsors, people that want to sponsor the children.
One children is $15 a month for one kid. So we want for 1 year commitment.
What are the ages of the children that you can sponsor?
The age is 4 years to 6 years, and then after that they're going to go to the elementary school, which is we don't have elementary school yet, but now we have like 2 classes for the early age education, for 4 to 5, 5 to 6.
Thank you so much, Nuri. This is amazing, all the work that you're doing. I think, you know, I love hearing your story, and I could talk to you all day long. We have made a commitment to continue to work together and to see how we can help your organization. And but I am so happy, and stories like yours are the kind of stories that inspire me to do this show. You know, because it's inspirational how a tragedy in losing your daughter, and losing your mom at a younger age, and seeing the poverty back home has inspired you to turn something so negative into a positive to help others. Thank you for that. We only have a little bit of time, so I'm gonna ask you if you can look at the camera, look at the camera over here and ask, and give people a message of inspiration of how they can also have a new beginning, or how they can help one of the children in your school to have a new beginning.
For the women and young women, please don't marry too young. Become the mother when you're young is really not good. And then love your mom and love your children. And then please, if anybody likes to join to help our organization, we really need have more supporting parents, which is one student costs $15 for their school, pay their teachers, and then rest the activities. So for if you want, you need to commit for 1 year support. And then contact us at www.indonesian3magnolias.org.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Nuri. That's all the time we have for today. But I know that you continue to bring awareness about poverty and the education back home. And you do all kinds of events here. You have a lot of volunteers, and today on the show we have one of your volunteers who will perform a Balinese dance, Julie Randolph, who will be joining us here in just a few minutes. Thank you so much for being here, and let's all enjoy this Balinese dance by Julie Randolph.